going on, crypto people? It is Steve, Crypto Steve, with another day in the life, the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Wow, what an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class of this digital asset space. Look at the market. Holy moly, the market is doing what the market does. Layla Perlin, hey, Layla, hey, is it Halpern? On valuetainment, someone tweeted out, what happened to Bitcoin being the hedge towards inflation, the hedge against inflation? What happened to that? Interesting stuff. This Expectar community and the projects they're doing in the NFT space look very, very interesting. I know XRP Paris is excited about it. We'll talk a little bit about that. I want to share with you the real deal and kind of give you an insight on really what Gary Gensler is up to. We'll get into that. You definitely want to hear the real deal. You definitely want to hear the real deal, what's going on there. Mr. Wonderful lays it down for you. All right, guys, listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news. In around 0 to 10 minutes, let's do this. The Bitcoin dominance is at 42.6%. Yeah, that's not a great number. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.32 trillion again. The 24-hour change is less than 1%. Bitcoin is at $29,416 again. Ethereum is at $1,975 again. XRP is at 41 cents again. Holy moly, the market is just doing what the freaking market does. So I thought this was really, really interesting. So at R. Camry on Twitter, R6 says here, why is the narrative changing? Was Bitcoin not supposed to be a hedge against inflation? Interesting point. Listen to Layla here, and it's kind of, she's kind of defending I think what's going on in the market, and she's not defending it the best.
US is heavily involved in. Markets don't like war. People definitely like to. The Fed just flooded this system with money, right? You mentioned it. Unprecedented amounts of money. People were putting their stimulus checks into Bitcoin. And naturally, there was a bull market going on. You had the halving back in 2020. Naturally, a bull market tends to follow after that. So with all that surplus cash, plus an impending bull market, naturally it's going to go up. Now we're at a point where the Fed is starting to take, inflation seriously, and people don't have that surplus cash. It's actually being pulled out. We're also going through times of crazy geopolitical issues, where there's a war going on in Europe, which the US is heavily involved in. Markets don't like war. People definitely like to withdraw their assets from the most riskiest assets.
When there's chaos, we need some stability, some security. Let's go into Bitcoin.
Because Bitcoin is still a risk-on asset, right? Like it's only 13 years old, and so naturally people are going to withdraw their money from it. Like during times of uncertainty, do you feel comfortable holding Bitcoin? The Fed just flooded this system with money, right?
She just didn't do a great job. She's on the defensive, which is, she's a smart person, but you never want to be on the defensive, right? And she is going about this completely from the defensive, and it's just not a great look. Layla, it's just not a great look. You don't want to be on the defensive there. But the answer and the bottom line to all of that is Bitcoin was never a hedge against inflation, because Bitcoin, just like all the other cryptos, are risk assets. They are risk assets. No matter what you want to say, the risk on, risk off, doesn't matter. They are risk assets, period. Now, you can make the store of value argument if you want to. You can make that argument, sure. And you can bet, you can take the bet if you want, calculated that long term Bitcoin will win the store of value narrative, but they haven't won it yet. Bitcoin has not won that narrative yet. It has not won that. It's doing a really, really good job. And it's probably just right behind gold, probably, but it has not won the store of value narrative yet. It's monetary policy, love it. Technology needs to get better. The monetary policy, only 21 million Bitcoin, being able to pick your own money, the sound money argument, yes, all of that. Hedge against inflation, nada. It never was. It never was that. And she should just say that. She should just say that. And she's kind of a little on the defensive there. And to, this is clipped out, obviously, but to say, would you want to hold Bitcoin during times of uncertainty? What do you mean? So, unfortunately, she's kind of coming from a defensive standpoint. You never want to do that, Layla. You always want to be on the offensive, not the defensive. So in any case, I thought that was interesting. She's on valuetainment there. And yeah, she got defensive, unfortunately. So there's this guy out here called Plate Liquor 21 on Twitter. And he was highlighted here in this video from the Security Token Summit. DAI put this out, right? And kind of pointing to the whole thing that what happened with Novogratz. And there was a guy on Twitter after Novogratz did his freaking tattoo, showing off his tattoo, I guess, initially. And this particular guy, Plate Liquor 21, said in 6 months, that's going to be one of the biggest regrets ever. Talking about the fact that he got a Luna tattoo. Now, I got it, right? But comes to find out, he also said this: I'm freaking famous. P.S. XRP is going to zero soon. 2. Bitcoin only. Bitcoin only. Thank me later. So, gotta take that in perspective to Plate Liquor 21. He doesn't get the bigger picture. He does not get the bigger picture. So XRP Bag, man, what's good, bro? XRP Bags, what's good with you? Looking fire. Look, working projects from Expectar. Are you as excited as we are to see the final version? Yes, indeed. Yeah, indeed. Let's look at that. That's some nice stuff right there. I don't know if there's music. Let me see. I'm not gonna play it because there's some music to it, but that's pretty good. Expectar. I know I did the trust line and set that stuff up, and I can't remember if I have a token with them or not. I don't remember anymore, but that is a good, what in the world? That's a good look right there. Really, really good stuff. Expectar. Really, really good stuff. XRP Bag, man, I hope you're doing well. I want to share with you the real deal. And Mr. Wonderful shared this on Stansberry Research with the brilliant Daniela. Just take a listen. I'm going to start it a few minutes back, but I really, when he shares his personal experience with dealing with the bank and stable coins, you are going to freaking love it. Let me share this with you guys. Unfortunately, it's going to be a few minutes before he gets into it, but I really want you to check it out. Let's see. Was it here? Let me see where I am here. It says minute. Yeah, it is there. Okay. So just bear with me. He's not going to really start getting to it about minute 20, but I'm going to start at minute 18:44.
But I just want to understand a little bit more about your strategy, because in the past you've been, totally transparent with what you're doing. Last time you were on, you said like 20% of your portfolio wasn't crypto. It was actually bigger than your gold holdings. Now, has that changed at all? Has that caused you to reflect and say, hold on a second here, let me reshuffle?
No, it hasn't. I remain bullish on crypto from the perspective of productivity, and so I think if you're buying projects, and I've always said this, Bitcoin is not a coin; it's software. Ethereum software, Solana software, Helium software, Poly or Paul and his software, all of these different projects around different sectors of the economy. Solana may be better ultimately for transactional speed because Ethereum is pretty slow. So we don't know which one of these projects is going to win. But the whole premise is that you want these for financial services. And I still believe that in 10 years, crypto will be the 12th sector of the economy, but all the existing tokens will not exist. There'll be many that just go to zero because they were highly speculative. They were fun. They had no real intrinsic financial services value. But if you were to ask me about USDC and say, look, where's the value of that? Well, first of all, you can stake it or loan it at a 4% rolling annualized yield every 30 days. And that's
you could stake it or loan it at a 4% annualized yield. Yeah. How many are doing that? How many are doing that? Or are we still hanging out on centralized exchanges with our stables? The dude's telling you the deal. That's the deal, right? But he's going to tell you an even bigger deal why hashtag Gary Gensler is in the place that he is in. But this is what I'm saying to you guys, right? This is not your 2017, 2018 digital asset space. Celsius and Alice Mashinsky got it right from the beginning, but early in the days, it was going to be about yield, getting some money on your money. And trust me when I tell you that the big banks understand this, and they are crying. And so they needed someone to help. They needed someone to help console them with their tears. So they ushered to the front of the room, hashtag Gary Gensler is not your friend. Current chair of the SEC for a reason. It is not about investment protection. And I know all of you guys know it, but the people that are new to the channel don't understand what the real deal is going on with this regulatory agency called the SEC. And if you think there are some people who control this financial system besides the top 8, 10 banks, you're being naive. This is the real deal. Listen to his story about what he decided to do with his own money and the pushback that he got from the bank, from his bank.
Valuable in inflationary times. Secondly, it is a highly effective payment system because I am now accepting payment for goods and services in USDC.
He's accepting payments for financial services in USDC. Crypto.
And very often not converting it back to fiat because I'm simply leaving it in my Circle account and rolling it into these 30-day contracts. In fact, I had a really interesting dialogue with one of my banks last week, and I plan on reading the script at the next crypto conference because it's quite interesting. It really says a lot about the banking system right now. I cannot buy more than a 3% weighting in any mandate of USDC because my regulator, or my compliance department, I should say, treats it as a highly volatile equity, as evidenced by what happened to Luna, what happened to UST. So they're looking at that, not differentiating the difference between those two tokens. So they're saying, look, you can put on a 3% weighting. So in the case of that particular mandate, that was $7 million. So we moved the $7 million out of the account into a USDC account. And within hours, I got a phone call from the bank saying, what happened to that $7 million? Why didn't we get a chance to bid on it? I said, okay, bid on it. Right now, I'm staking it out at 4% for 30 days. Right. They came back, gave me double B corporate credits for 3 years at 3%. And I said, why would I ever do that? You're not competitive. You've got to meet me at 30 days for 4%. And then they sent me all the articles about the correction of Luna. And I said, Luna's not USDC.
Did you catch that? They sent him all the articles of what happened to US Terra algorithmic stablecoin. They knew all about it, gathered this intel. They didn't know. They didn't expect him, Kevin O'Leary, to be to be in the know between the difference between USDC and UST. They write to him hours later and say, well, what happened to this 7 million? Why didn't you give us a chance? And he said, yeah, I'll give you a shot. Match what I can currently get in a stablecoin environment or crypto platform environment at 4% for 30 days.
These banks are now finding themselves getting squeezed because people are figuring out they're not advancing enough into understanding how crypto works. And their clients, I'm just one client, are moving millions of dollars out of their account elsewhere. And I said to him, look, you can bid for this money anytime you want, but you have nothing of value to me if I have to pay 100 basis points less and tie up my money for 3 years and a double B corporate credit.
You have nothing to offer me. You have nothing to offer me. That is the real deal. This is what not only what Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank is doing, but a lot of people from doing. People in higher positions and people in lower positions are doing. They are walking away from the traditional finance system. Why? Because they recognize, like the people who follow this channel, we must go to where our assets are treated best. The dude took 7 million out of the bank because he wants to go to where his assets are treated best. And the best they could offer is some 3-year double B rated bond madness locked up for 3 freaking years at 3%. This is what I say all the time. If you're not telling people about what's going on in the decentralized finance space, you're doing them a disservice by not, number one, not mentioning, but only promoting these traditional financial things. I'm not sure if there's a more TradFi guy than Kevin O'Leary, traditional finance guy. And he recognizes that he needs to take his assets and place them where they are treated best. That's all I'm saying. Go to where your assets are treated best. Tim Draper was talking about the tax laws on this summit that he's on here. What is it? What's called the Security Token Summit. Tax laws and tax law codes. If you're running around, right? If you're running around strategizing around these tax codes, and you don't know where you can get yourself consistently 4, 5, 6, 7% on the dirty, nasty fiat. If that's not your concern, and your concern is more so on taxes, that's a challenge. That's a challenge, in my humble opinion. Perhaps the better strategies is that consistent 4, 5, 6, 7% on your money. Just saying. So this is the real deal here. This is the real deal. This is the real deal, Holyfield. Watch this. That's the only thing Gary cares about. His bank executive friends who whine about customers pulling their money out and investing in decentralized finance. We've been saying this for this channel for I don't know how long now. It's not the investors' desires to be protected by Gary. It's the bank's desire to have Gary protecting them. Over the past year, several bank executives have shared their concerns with me about the sheer number of depositors like a Kevin O'Leary who have moved money from their bank accounts into crypto-related exchanges, wallets, platforms, etc. That's the real deal. And hashtag Gary Gensler can try to make it sound like it's some other thing. But the bottom line is sophisticated people like Kevin O'Leary and you and I who've been in this space for, since 2016, know we must go to where our assets are treated best. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. That old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.